Yo, welcome back to the joeZONE podcast. I knew you were going to do that. Welcome back, man. Yeah, I've been away for a while. I was in the doing the content cowboys, but now I'm back on my own. And today I have with me none other than my homie Yaseen Baker.
Can you see me, Dad?
We've been doing this is the fourth time we do this.
Third time.
We put out 3, but we did it 4 times.
Oh yes, that's right.
Here we go.
That's right.
And with him, I got Munir Holiday. How's it, Munir?
I'm good.
Munir is a first-time comedian, and he's gonna be on Yaseen's show on. When is the show, Yaseen? Tell us about that.
On the 12th. On the 12th.
On the 12th of Feb.
On the 12th of Feb. Yes.
Oh, is it the Valentine's show? A newcomer Valentine's show.
Ah, man, you know me, always doing it early because premature and all of that. So but no, it's not. It's not Valentine's. It's an open mic night.
It's an open mic night.
Open mic night. So Munir is going to be one of 12.
And this is the first time you're doing comedy.
Actually, I was on the last open mic. That's how I started. Yeah. So
Okay.
this was like my third time.
Third time. Okay. How was it your first time?
Yeah, it was both exciting and crazy.
Nervous.
Nervous.
Did you get the laughs?
Couple of giggles. You must bring your own laughs.
Okay. My first time was like my best time ever on stage.
Yeah.
Like the crowd was like, "Wah!"
Yeah,
But then after that, I was just
downhill after that.
I could never replicate that night. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like when you smoke weed for the first time. Not that I smoke weed, but anyway.
Well, like when you do it for the first time.
Oh, when you do it for the first time, don't you skid go? Hey, we go into my.
I know, straight into it.
We go to my raffia. It's my first time. No lube.
So yeah, like I was saying, on the 12th of Feb, it's an open mic night. So Munir's going to be one of 12 comics, to try either for the first time or for like the second or third time, like he himself. I'm super excited. I love open mic nights. Have you ever been?
Yeah, I was on one of your open mic nights, like at what is that place? That was a sort of open mic.
Which one is this?
It was they were the open.
The open mic was
The open mic, open sky, open mic.
Yeah, the outdoor one.
Outdoor one, yeah.
That one is beautiful.
Yeah, it was a nice one. It was a summer night. It was thicker. It was and you had like a outside vendor there.
Yeah.
Well organized. Tell me about Inspire. What's it?
Oh yeah, Aspire Promotions.
Aspire Promotions.
So they are an events company run by a guy called Abdul Basit Colby. He's my partner with these comedy shows. He does all of the admin, and I deal with the talent and and that type of thing. And I also I host the gigs.
Okay, so he's a events guy.
He's an events guy. So.
That's liquor that you could hook up with. It's always there's great value in people that it's like they have their own niche. You know what I mean? You got your own niche, and it's comedy, design, and stuff like that.
Sure.
But that admin part, like I was telling you earlier, creatives are not always that liquor at admin. So I think if you can have that aspect to your. So is your guys' company, or you working together on this?
No. So no, I'm not part of Aspire Promotions, but we do work together.
Okay.
we're the yin and yang.
But you've been doing some awesome places. Like, what are some of the places? There's new places. Where was it?
Yeah, we do. So we have 3 consistent venues. We have I should say 2, with the third one on the way.
Yeah.
At the end of Feb. So we have a place called the Ottoman, which is in Crawford.
Yeah.
Another place called Cafe 51, which is in Woodstock.
Yeah. Tell me about that Cafe 51. Like I saw you had some liquor. You had some liquor headliners there. There was KG. Did KG play there?
KG played there.
How was that your night for you guys?
Oh, I love it. The place is beautiful. The actual venue itself, it's beautiful. It's
liquor,
very classy. The crowd is mixed. I know. You know Woodstock. It's filled with different.
So where does most of your crowd come from? Like, is it through? Because I always wondered. You seem to always pull a nice crowd. Is it through friends and family? And because that isn't that the easy ones to get?
I always joke and I say that my underwear has been more supportive than my family.
Okay.
No, I didn't know it's not my family that come out. Somehow, it's just, I think with good marketing, like I said, Abdul Basit is an expert professional in this industry. Not necessarily the comedy industry, but like, putting events together. And I think marketing is part of that. Good marketing, bruh. Like we put in gigs monthly at the different venues, and we fill up. Each time we fill up, people come, and I think they just appreciate a good gig, man. A good organized, fun gig.
Good venue, everything, food, like a night out for.
Exactly.
And that is really your sort of your target market. It's really the night out for the parents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't think you cater much to a very, very 20-year-old market, really. but by looking at the venues, that's where I'm gauging it from. I'm not gauging it from your age, anything like that.
No, exactly. But also at the same time, it's a specific demographic, Muslims. Not necessarily only for Muslims, but the venues that we do have comedy at are 100% halal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So naturally, it's going to attract that type of.
They don't want to go to a bar and check out a comedy show.
So everyone coming to the show to watch is 100% sober. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they just in that sense.
So for those that don't know, maybe Munir, maybe you don't know. Yaseen, like he actually got quite a big following through his memes. He's actually a meme guy. He was a meme guy.
Yeah.
He's not a meme guy anymore. And do you get a lot of people that I know you used to put out a lot of one-liners before. Now your conversation is a little bit different. We'll get into that conversation later. But do you feel you get a lot of audience from what you put out on socials?
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like I keep preaching this, no matter how much people say social media is bad for you and it has all its flaws and all its negatives. I feel like it's a super tool for marketing, and if you're putting out content consistently and you build a following over time, they become loyal somehow. They come to different gigs like regularly. So
you got a lot of return customers.
Absolutely, it's been amazing.
Dope. Yeah. That's dope.
I know people by name.
Just through the
gigs. Yeah,
that's lekker, man. Yeah. So you're building your own audience, like slowly but surely. Huh? You're the next Alfred. Yeah, I mean, we spoke earlier about like people not doing marketing, like the importance of marketing, especially in comedy and so on. So yeah, it's good that you're paying attention to that aspect of things, because I think not everybody in all industries follow that.
Yeah,
they think you don't need marketing or something.
Like being funny is enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you can be funny in your own, but if people aren't listening to you, if people aren't coming to listen to you, it's gonna fall on deaf ears. Does a tree that falls in the desert? What's it?
A tree that falls in a forest
still make a noise or something.
Yeah. What? So like I was saying to you, so you used to put out a lot of funnies, but now your conversation is a little bit more controversial. Like,
what do you mean by controversial?
Like you criticize Sodium Day quite hectically.
Why didn't you prepare me for this?
Because you must be able to back up what you say all the time.
Did you have the guys on here?
Not yet.
You didn't have the guys on
here. In a few weeks time. I just want to hear your opinion and stuff. Look, we all have opinions and
beef is good for this.
It's not beef. I don't think it's beef. I think it's an open dialogue, man. And I think this is important conversations especially within our community. Because and we've spoken about this before.
Yeah.
There's certain content creators that put out certain things that depict people in a certain way.
Yeah.
Especially the colored community in a certain way. And it's not always good. Right? So I feel that maybe you had that same
part of it. It's definitely part of it.
You cast that same eye towards Sodium Day. And I think there's a big difference between an influencer doing something as a joke and them creating an art piece, something like a movie. Because the movie tells us a full story, and you watch it from beginning to end, it tells a lot different than just somebody making fun of somebody without their teeth out,
Yeah.
and giving no sort of background to that.
Yeah.
No, why is that way? I think in my opinion, I think that movie sort of gave a fair background, fair cast.
So this is what a lot of people misinterpreted from my rants.
Yeah,
about
your
it.
rants.
Yeah,
In general.
yeah.
Not just this specifically.
Regarding Sodium Day. What
Okay.
a lot of people misinterpreted with that is I was more upset with Netflix. You know what I mean? Yes,
Why?
I'll get there. Yes, we've had the gangster movie, the Four Corners, the Dollars, White Pipes. Yes, we've had those stereotypes emphasized in movies to death, I feel. But why not make another one? I don't care, because that's societal norms in our cultures. You know what I mean? But that wasn't even like what I had an issue with. I was upset because there are so many movies that go to film festivals internationally, local movies of colored people that win awards internationally but don't get picked up by Netflix. They get featured on Showmax, which not a lot of people have. It's not the biggest streaming platform in the world. Netflix is, right? But like, what other movies are there of colored people on Netflix? I don't think any. And they are, like I said, I can say this. There's a guy who directed a movie, colored guy from Cape Town, went to Livingston High. He is nominated for 2 Oscars.
I saw that. Yeah.
For his movie that he directed called Living. Why is there no noise about that?
So your
So my gripe is with Netflix.
So you feel that there's somebody that's sort of there's like a puppeteer pushing like a certain type of agenda,
exactly.
Pushing the narrative that colored people are a certain way.
A certain
Can
way.
I just interject here, guys? When I saw your post,
Yeah.
right, I felt a certain way because I watched the movie and I have a different opinion. But that it comes back to my point, man. Your demeanor now and your demeanor is very calm and when you post something on Facebook, nobody can see your demeanor, man.
Yeah.
And like now you're explaining it perfectly, and I agree with you. I agree with you because your demeanor and everything. But with social media, you
Yeah.
can't touch on that
There's
demeanor.
no tone.
So people just think, this bra's hating, and he's probably shouting as he's writing, and he's fuming and he's bullying his children and what. You know what I'm saying? So I think, now I feel you have a valid reason.
Yeah.
You have a valid reason for not that I have the say. When you,
But this is why I prefer podcasts
Exactly.
to commenting,
Exactly.
because I did comment, but then I deleted my comment.
You did.
And then I just said like, yo, let's chat. Like.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I feel when in a conversation like this, I feel the topic really gets massaged, man. I feel that back and forth that you enjoy doing on Facebook, I don't feel that's healthy. I feel that the conversation
You
doesn't
assume
get to
that I
know.
enjoy it. You assume that I enjoy it.
I assume because you keep doing it. Don't do it anymore, and that means you're not enjoying it. You only do something you like doing. Why are you doing something you don't like doing?
Oh, we work daily, so
What?
we have a 9-to-5 job, so I mean that's not something we necessarily enjoy doing.
Well, you're right, but we need the money.
Oh, we need the money.
But my point is like that. I think that when we speak like this, you bring your point across very clear.
Yeah.
Nantel agrees with you. I agree with you 100%. I think you're right, and I can see how people would try to push a certain agenda upon. That's the same narrative that they always painted with. And Alfred and I also spoke about this. Why do they continuously paint a certain narrative? Like Alfred Aden, he said that like he refuses to depict colored people in a certain way on TV adverts. He's spoken openly about this.
Yeah.
And he refuses to, and he's turned down massive corporates that's almost approached him and said, listen here, a colored person must speak like this and not like this. So he said, nah. He left that.
Yeah.
And now we get to choose, man. We get to choose what I think we get to choose what we want to put out. Yes, there is people putting out something else, but me myself, I am gonna try to put out the best content that I can put out. Now, there's another podcast that's quite popular, very, very popular. Gets way more views than me, and it's not that I'm jealous of this guy. Yeah. I would like to point out, maybe a little bit, maybe a little jealous, maybe.
Why don't you like me?
But this Wide Awake podcast is called, right? So he gets gangsters on his podcast.
Yeah.
Have you seen this guy?
Is that white guy?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I've seen him.
And he speaks to the colored gangsters and stuff like that. And they always telling their story, right? In this one specific podcast, right? This gangster guy has like this face mask on. So you know that face mask that they put on and they peel it off and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So this face mask is like half on, half peeled off. And they conduct the interview like that. So it would be easy for that interviewer to tell that guy, maybe you wanna wash your face so you don't come across like a crazy person off the bat. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's no. It's like you wanna. Somebody else told me people enjoy trauma porn. You know what I mean? It's like it's not recommended that we continuously depict a certain race in a certain way, and the good parts of that race you don't highlight that much. Yeah. And I think that's what you were trying to illustrate by the Netflix showing that instead of that.
Yeah. Exactly like that. Like there's a specific agenda or stereotype that they wanna keep relevant and prevalent, you know. And I feel like it's so not necessary. Play it out, man. I mean, our people are doing things. And then in a follow-up rant, which many people apparently, clearly didn't pick up on, was I mentioned a series on SABC2 that was amazing. It was called Melody. I don't know if you guys have heard
I read it post.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was colored people on the Cape Flats. It was Bridgetown, and they wanted to pursue music because they were mad talented. And yes, there was a gangster. Yes, there was a drug dealer. They're neighbors. And their father was an alcoholic, but they made something of themselves despite that, you know, because those things do exist in on the Cape Flats, you know, in our cultures and all those things. But despite those the adversities, they still excel. You know what I mean? Why not tell those stories instead of?
It's crazy. I'm thinking now, like how do you? I look at South Africa and then I look at like what's happening in America, man. Almost like. How do they depict black people there in movies? But also, Tyler Perry came along. Yeah. And he pushed a different narrative. And now slowly that narrative is changing. You don't see Don't Be a Menace type of movies anymore that much. You know what I mean? Before there was 50 Don't Be a Menace movies and one Precious movie. Now there's like more... 10 Black Panthers and one Juice or something like that.
Let's do it, man.
So how do we do that in Cape Town? And there is that happening in the Gambit films. Yeah. They sort of push that. What's that brother's name? Jared Geduld. He was in that action movie. Did you check it out?
No, I haven't actually.
Yeah, and he was like almost like this fugitive. It's like accused of killing his wife, but he was it's a whole mix-up story. Yeah, you can go get him outside. It's a whole mix-up story. Munir, you're very quiet there.
Do you have anything
don't you have a story there for us? Huh?
Okay, I didn't see sodium.
You didn't see sodium. But don't you have how old are you now?
I'm 51.
51. Don't you have a story there for us?
MashaAllah.
Yes, our new guest coming in there. How's it? Come join us. Come sit over here. Introduce yourself to us. This is the first for us. We've never done something like this before. I've never met somebody on the podcast. My name is Ryan. Fabian, pleased to meet you. You hurt my finger.
So my handle is the stand-up property guy.
The stand-up property guy. You sell properties?
I do.
Is it? Where do you sell properties?
Everywhere, wherever they allow me to sell.
Wherever they allow you to sell. Can you organize me like a house there?
If you can qualify for it enough.
You must qualify for a liquor
Let's see
bar.
your bank statements.
3 months.
So have you done comedy already?
I've been trying. So
Yeah.
years ago, I started by writing down. You start with your jokes. Why did the chicken cross the road? And then you realize, nah, that's not gonna work. Right? And then I started about 4 years ago, just before COVID. And then I did it 2 or 3 times. I did it, and then the one time I was like super funny. The people's going to post like,
Where was this?
It was at Nomad.
Yay!
Oh, you were just
My
looking
spot that, yo.
Wait.
I missed that spot.
Then-
so your first time you went up here,
Yo,
people
it
went
was
mad.
Crazy. It was crazy.
They were
I'm
shouting, they got out of their seats, stand over,
you know how
a round of
you
applause.
go. I was born today.
I was speaking about this
And then the next one come. And then you die like 1,000 deaths.
that same shit happened to me.
So but then COVID came, and then my dad passed us 2 years today. Sorry that I'm
Okay.
late, guys.
No,
My
that's
dad,
right.
my dad passed away 2 years today.
Condolences.
So fuck me up a bit.
I think he's listening to you right now.
Yeah, it
Miss-
messed me up a bit. Or- yeah, but so then I just decided you don't smoke to be funny. So people are telling me, no, you must push through the funny.
Yeah.
But you're like, nah,
Don't smoke to be funny.
don't smoke. This is cool. This is the first time I'm at the podcast, guys.
Check it. So like, there's always like a lot of funny people. Not everybody, but there's a lot of funny people that come from a dark place, or they've experienced trauma.
Yeah.
But then they use that trauma to find the funny, like, or not that specific event, but that traumatic like thing that happened to them. They almost like, I don't know, they use that to fuel the funny.
Yeah.
Sort of like, sometimes it doesn't always work. Like there's some
Yeah.
comedians that the dark side is like,
They need to go to therapy instead.
oh, we had this conversation already. But sometimes, but you do find a lot of darkness in comedians, don't you? Don't you think that's true?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like everybody has a bit of darkness, you know.
But more so in people that go on stage and try to be funny.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I like how you say try to be funny. Yeah, no.
I just feel like that, man. And if you look at generally like how much like comedians have had like trouble with mental illness, and it's just coming as their dark places, that battle within and stuff like that. I also went through some shit, and it's like, yeah, I just gotta get the shit out, man. And yes, you gotta go to therapy. That is part of it. But sometimes if you just like, fuck it, man, let me just say what it is and let the cards fall where they may.
5 minutes here for free. Let me just talk to you.
Let me just,
They have to listen
why
to
must
me.
I pay 300 rand for 500 rand for a session? That's a klomp kak, man.
I know. I can get immediate feedback from the crowd.
But they say it's almost like one of those things, if a doll can do it, let her pain go there. Why can't comedians do it?
Yeah,
Nah?
yeah.
No, it's a lie. It's a lie.
In artists in general, they use the darkness to create the light. That's what they do. In artists also, in painters, in whoever, they use that's in them. Like, I actually started watching this thing with.
That should be an ESCOM slogan.
I actually started watching this weird thing on Netflix with I started watching it, I put it off. What's that lady's name? Pamela Anderson.
Oh, yeah?
So she's got this documentary thing now about her, and I was like, okay, let's give this a try. And then it's
But
like,
she must be like 60 now. Or something.
yeah, and she doesn't wear makeup in this thing.
Oh, yeah?
Quite interesting. So she looks very different.
Okay.
wear
I'm
a
sure she
bra.
looks Afrikaans, like look Afrikaans.
She still wear a bra.
Yeah. I don't know. But
Does he still have the
yeah.
Is it still
I don't
here
know.
or is it?
My point that I would like to get to, you horny fuckers. This is worried about the fucking tits here. I want to get to the heart of the matter.
That's what she was known for. What are you
Nah,
talking
but
about?
let's get to the heart of the woman, man. So she went through some darkness when she was young. Right?
So you're saying she has a lot to get off her chest?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Fuck, bruh.
Did she let go of the weight that she was carrying around?
All right, go. Okay, we won't interrupt you. Go for it.
Okay, so Pamela Anderson, as I was saying, she went through some dark stuff you see, now how do I tell a dark story after you used to say all that shit? So she went through some dark stuff when she was young, right? And then when she was older, like as she said, she took her first shot for Playboy. As that thing went off, she felt her almost like herself take back her power from that trauma that happened to her as a young woman. And I'm just thinking about it as like, it's like that moment, like sometimes when that spotlight shines on you and you're just in that flow state, like everything is just gone, like everything is just like all that crack that happened at the end of the day, just making people laugh, like things that you think about that you find peculiar in your life. It's just an awesome moment, man. I love that moment.
I feel like it's a double-edged sword, because like Fabian was saying earlier, you know, the first time was like, you know, up here people were crying laughter, and then the second time was like, you know, so now you're chasing that first time every single time.
That first hit,
you know.
But maybe also that's why the audience come to comedy, you know, just to get away from all the shit.
Yeah, that is the same reason people go to comedy, to laugh. Like laugh. What? Laughter is the best medicine.
We'll just get away, you know, from forgetting the bills and forgetting all the other shit.
What do you talk about in your comedy a lot about?
Yeah,
just one-liners.
No, basically shit in my own life, like my kids or my wife.
Okay, me same thing. I find the situations in my living now, I don't know, I find it quite peculiar. But I also like pop culture, but like, and I don't know how to integrate it to like I'm trying to.
Did you guys know Joey was can I say is
what
stand-up comic?
I don't know. I don't know if I ever was.
Okay.
I don't like. So, if you box or you're a boxer, if you do comedy or you're a comedian,
it's like
if you do it once, like, are you a comedian? So I have that weird thing.
But you did it for a very long time.
Yeah, I did it for a few years. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't feel like I deserve that title, man. I don't feel like none of my.
Were you ever paid for a
Yes.
spot? Then you were a comedian.
No.
I feel like if there's monetary, value to it.
Something like it's like those runners who just mainly walk, but they say I'm entering a race.
So was I ever paid for the spots? Like, so there used to be this guy called George, right? George Blacksmith. You know him?
No, sounds made up.
Sounds like a porno.
He's a black guy
Some porno.
with a smith. He's like, I'm the only black smith.
Okay.
That's his thing. Anyway, so he lives somewhere in Fishhook, man. So Fishhook, Simonstown. So any gig basically on this side, like there was like a year or two, he would call me up and like me and him would do it. But bro, we would do it at the most craziest spots, and we would get paid. No?
Yeah.
We would get paid. We would do it like an Indian restaurant. Then there's like a lady there on a throne, like the Indian family's restaurant. No? Then they chilling on like a throne vibe, no? And they like and then we like doing comedy to the audience. But there's like a throne. I was like weird. So that was one, and then there was this one. I think I still got it on Facebook where we at a full gospel church. And they pay us for the gig, man. Like everybody else don't get paid. These guys, so that brand, George, I must say, like he was a hustler, man.
Yeah.
Maybe his marketing wasn't that quite. Maybe his comedy wasn't the best. But he was a mother effing hustler, man.
Yeah.
He used to get paid, man. And then we're doing it like at Indian rest. This is cool, man. It was a fun time, and yeah.
So yes, you could call yourself a comedian, for sure.
I call myself a comedian. So what I was saying earlier is I don't feel none of my colleagues or whatever you call that, other people.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever gave me the credit to be that man. So in jiu-jitsu, my coach gives me a stripe on my belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He gives me that credit. Has a comedian ever... There has been comedians that I've opened up for. But I don't feel that like they've said like, yo, that was fucking...
So would that be the equivalent to a stripes in jiu-jitsu?
What?
A comedian that you open for saying... No?
A headliner asking you to be... open up for them.
Yeah.
100%, bruh. Because they have faith in you. That's like them giving you a stripe on your belt. Obviously, 100% would be like them giving you a stripe on your belt. It's them knowing that you have the ability and trust in you, bro. It's a big statement.
But then I can't call myself a comedian.
Why? Because nobody's ever given you that. Nick did.
I haven't.
Nick did.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he did.
He did.
He did.
And he's seen your stuff online. He knows your quality of work and stuff like that. So you've run a gig, right? Stripe. You've got you've got the dingers.
But I mean, what's his name? Blacksmith.
He got the stripe, obviously he got the stripe on his belt. And he can host lekker. He's not a headliner, but he can host like a motherfucker. So you get a stripe for being a host. So yeah, you get stripe. I am just but these things would make you, if you're able to do certain things in jiu-jitsu, you get a stripe. You know what I mean? If you're able to do an arm bar. This is just the equivalent of that. Yeah. You're still a white belt, bruh. You're not a blue belt yet. You know what I mean? You maybe have 4 stripes on your white belt.
I get it. Okay.
But you're still a white belt. Have you done your own solo show? Now you're a blue belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you're on to the next. But in comedy, I think they call it open micer. Then they call it support act. Then they call it
the headliner.
Yeah. I think that's a bit too little categories to have, because sometimes then you get open micers thinking they're headliners, and then you also get the because there's no like sort of regulation of people giving that credit to each other.
Yeah.
There's none of
also,
it.
when do you move from an open micer to support?
When somebody gives you that credit. Now at the comedy at the pub club, they used to give you that sort of, okay, now you now more.
You've moved up.
But it's also based on other comedians. And you know what? Like,
is that tenure or like the amount of time you've been doing comedy, or is it like if you're good enough?
If you're good enough, bro. Because some people, obviously, so here's the thing also in jiu-jitsu. Some people can take 18 months to get their blue belt. Other people can take 10 years. It's just how fast you grow. It's not up to the next person. Like I look at somebody like Regan Allen. Their brass went from open micer to headliner
to the DA.
Overnight. You know, but he went from open micer to headliner like poof. But he was good.
Yeah.
He was that good.
Doesn't it depend on the audience as well? Their response, obviously.
Obviously, but he was that good. He is that good, or something like that. If you are that good, you will rise to the top quickly. I'm not that good, so I don't. But there's no harm in not being that good and working at something to get better. If you have a kernel there, if you're just not at all the fuck funny, don't do it. In my opinion, you know what I mean? Like you were saying earlier, you don't feel funny.
Yeah.
Like, and you know you're not fun. You don't feel funny. And for me, so I know I don't feel funny. Bruh, that the audience are not doing this funny thing. Okay, I don't know why Eugene, shout out, no man. The Foofs guys are listening.
Oh yeah, we are live, eh? So we like.
Yeah, so we get people to cook.
So just a question while we're going on that, right? So when you see something in you and you obviously think that you have it, isn't working at your craft, how much you work on your craft will
is that
100%,
right?
100%.
So there will come a time where if someone boos you off stage, or some of the more senior comedians must go, look, man, this is maybe not for you.
Okay, so there's a dude,
right?
100% case in point, and I want to actually bring about this point. Bring this guy up before you spoke about what you spoke about. Yes, that's 100% true what you're saying. There's a guy called Eugene Vanaco. Yeah, he was Eugene for very long. All of a sudden, that out of nowhere, just like, he's just like, and now Eugene is flipping. He was Uncle Airtime for like all those years, maybe, and then he kept working at it, and he kept failing, but he kept coming back to stage, and he kept the grind on, and now he's that dude. No? Now he's funny, Now he's funny.
Freaking
but he was always funny. He was always funny, but he wasn't like, holy shit, this, like, now you'll be like, fuck, I can't anymore. Uncle, shut the fuck up. Like good shit. Like, anyway.
So he's such a good example. He's such a good example. He was also very unique. He had his own style, his own unique take on life and experiences. And I feel like over time he honed that.
Yeah, that's what he did. You're right. He honed that.
Yeah.
He had that before.
Yeah.
He just honed Eugene. Eugene was always Eugene. He just honed it into like, bah.
I love it.
It's brilliant. No, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do get that. But I don't know. For me, it's like, I mean, we all getting on here in the years. I don't think we all. None of us are in our 20s here. So there's some. For me, it's like. Is at the stage where it's like, okay, is this gonna work out? How long is it gonna take me to get better at this? All those type of things. Am I gonna sacrifice something to get better at this and gonna succeed? If I'm gonna sacrifice time away from my kids, is it gonna be? Is there value to that? Maybe there is.
I feel like it comes down to how much you want it, and if you're passionate enough, then you might not be the funniest, but if you are like very passionate about it, if you really want to make a success of it, then you'd work hard at it, you won't give it up, I feel.
Let me ask a question. Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to go to? Like that. Maybe that is it. So
I want to be the best podcaster in South Africa.
Yeah?
Yeah, I want to take out Mac G. I don't know. No, I'm joking.
But no. Put it out there. Manifest.
I just want to be a dope podcast, man. I don't want to be the best. I want to be.
You are a dope podcast.
I'm a dope podcast, but I want. I don't know. I want to. Yeah, that's that. So more. I think for me, there's more value in the long form discussion than in short form comedy things. But I feel that podcasting is like smoking a joint, and like I've never done this cocaine place thing before, but I think that comedy on stage is like snuffing cocaine. So if you could imagine that, one is like, yeah, man, the other one is just like, sha. It's like a slow burn versus like I would imagine. I don't know. I don't do these things.
And also, so podcasting, you're not alone. On the stage, you are solo.
Yeah.
And you only have yourself to blame. And then so from a delivery point of view,
how do you mean podcasting?
So you don't have to be alone.
Okay, you don't, but
it's more engaged. It's more engaged.
Yeah,
type
you're
of
right.
thing.
Yeah. There's always somebody that you're bouncing off of. It's correct.
Yeah.
Whereas if you podcasting but you do get some podcasts where people speak directly into the mic. So
themselves.
Yeah, there is that aspect to it, but the way I do it is pretty much feeding off of other people's direction and stuff like that.
It was such a good question you asked, to Joey. Do you feel like you're going to continue with comedy after?
Yeah, for me it was just about having fun, and every time we got this one at a time. Basically, I'm not getting away ahead of myself. So if there's something to just try and at that time, that 5 minutes, make as many people laugh as loud as possible.
And also, it depends on them telling us like, no.
Yeah, well,
go back to your day job.
You get duck crowds also, I suppose. Depends who Yaseen invites.
The now question. Yes. So the earlier thing that I said about the discussion we had about the seriousness. Do you guys channel that into your podcast? Into your comedy.
The seriousness of life.
Make gat of it. I think I might take something serious and talk shit about it.
Yeah, I feel like there's so much seriousness in the world, and there's so many serious people in the world. And comedians are a special breed of people who are able to see the funniness in regular life, And I feel like if you don't see the funniness in life, there's always something funny happening in the day, man. Always something. If you don't see that funniness, then you're just gonna be miserable like everyone else, So yes, we're bringing the seriousness, we're bringing the real things that happen in your life, but at the same time, putting a funny twist to it. And I feel like that's very important, and people appreciate that. And like when you were saying earlier, it's an escape for it's an escape for us, the comics, as well as the audiences who all experience this shit of daily life. You know. But yeah, I think everyone. But at the same time, everyone's comedy is different. Everyone, you know, shares different stories on stage.
How serious are you about it?
So for me, comedy just goes a bit back. So I'm divorced 9 years,
Congratulations.
and my 10th year.
Oh yeah.
So back in the day, they always used to tell me, "You think you're funny? You think you're funny?" It's my ex's family. Always when I'm catching on kak maybe or something. So I just want to drop the mic and go, "Yeah, see
Yeah.
the people laughing. I've always been funny."
Oh snap! Oh snap! You should invite them on that half to come out. No, but open mic nights are especially fun because everyone is new, so they don't necessarily have expectations of, you know, Trevor Noah or Dave Chappelle comedy. I mean, you might get, you know, that level of funniness on.
But don't you have a headliner?
We do have a headliner, but it's not about him.
Who's the
It's
headliner?
KG.
Okay.
KG on the 12th. But like I was saying, what was I saying?
But we don't.
So yeah, so people are
Yeah.
a bit more open to hearing, and you won't experience a heckler, for example, at open mic night. So chances are people might laugh a bit easier. Yeah.
More
They know.
forgiving.
More forgiving.
So the thing is, I've also seen, so the one place that I went to in Woodstock, if people don't come there for comedy, it will be difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here they're coming for comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they don't laugh, go back to your day job.
Anyway, yeah. And people are paying, so it's a waste of money.
But generally, people that come to the open micers, they just come there to enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
And then, even if you're not funny, they still laugh at you. Like they're like, this brother's making a gat to himself, for himself.
And I mean, you're so vulnerable up there. You're like sharing your life story, and for people to not laugh.
That shit happens, bro.
Yeah, it hurts, eh?
It hurts, yeah. Like, it's your art, like you putting out there, and people
Yeah.
just like, yeah.
Just like straight faces. Like, come on.
Such guy.
Ain't
Like, why don't you like me?
There's a lot of freak funny oaks, but they don't have the balls to go stand on the stage or do that, you know.
Yeah.
So there's still also that bit of admiration or just thinking, yo, you at least have the balls to go up there, even if you got one laugh, two laughs.
Or they go, yeah, that's why I don't want to do it. So highest moment in your comedy, highest.
Jeez. I have to think about it. I don't have a specific, but I have, like Joey mentioned, opened for Nick Rabinowitz. Also played at Cape Town Comedy Club before it closed. That was nice for, like, you know, 4 days out of the week, 5 days out of the week?
It's nice.
Like that. Yeah. It was very nice. But like running my own gigs, yeah, it's special. I think so. Do you have a favorite moment?
My first night, that was nothing ever compared to that. Everybody was like brasso with me. And then after that, I was just like, I'm cock. But I think that like, again, like I was saying earlier, it's economy of words is not an easy thing.
Yeah.
It's one of the very, very more difficult things. And even when I speak like this, like now, you can see I'm even long-winded in trying to get, when I get to my point. Like, so that is maybe not for me. I mean, I can't condense or maybe I can. Maybe I must put that challenge to myself and condense my stuff like that. Because I do have these ideas, but I'm able to condense them to a sentence is kak. Like, I can rather tell you, it's easy for me to tell you a story and get to a punchline.
Yeah.
But that economy of words don't work out. I need to get to the joke quicker.
Yeah.
Or the funnies quicker.
Yeah. A
You
lot
know
of people
what I
have short attention spans. So.
yeah. So that's where I struggle. I can tell a story. But then, obviously, when you work at it, if you work at a certain story like Eugene did, and you carve it out and carve it out and carve it out. So I've got like 1 or 2 stories that could if I could take it now to a stage, it can still hit.
Yeah.
But it's obviously you need to work at it and stuff like that. But you have to come up with new stuff all the time. I'm not coming up with new. I wasn't coming up with new stuff all the time. All the new stuff that I did come up with, we just put on here on the podcast.
Okay.
We just roll with it.
But then-
and as a long form thing, it works. But there is like topics now that we've sort of got as the group, the Content Cowboys, but we've touched on there, and it's almost like a story that I would go back to,
Yeah.
like a school story. So maybe I must try to condense my words and give it a shot again. Never know.
Can I
Might
ask a
enjoy it.
more serious question?
Yeah.
So obviously I love stand up. I think this is, for me, stand up comedy is everything for many years, right? And so I know that it's competitive, right? I know because I've seen it, and I've also seen that it can be brutal. When it comes to certain comedians, remember, I'm new. I'm always in the audience, so I'm never on stage. So when it comes to certain comedians and those type of things, I don't want to upset the wrong people, but the question is, when you want to, if someone is going to be outcast, right? Do you die on stage? What do they call it? They call it cancelling, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, well that's on Twitter only.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I'm trying to just not say the wrong things.
Where has people been cancelled?
No way. But I'm saying, me stepping now, remember, I'm now in the crowd.
So some people don't want to give you gigs. Or
No, not yet. So I'm saying
Let him finish.
I'm normally sitting and
you're
laughing.
long to get to the point.
I'm like you, long-winded. So we taking the.
Okay, so
that's why we're at the podcast.
Say it, man. Don't
So-
give a fuck if you're gonna offend people.
Now my kids are now watching. So yeah. So okay, let me just.
Okay, we're not gonna swear anymore.
Nah,
And we won't talk too much about
I'm on
bad
TV.
things.
Nah, I'm on TV. Okay, so they're gonna get me anyway. So do people treat other people cuck if they are funnier than them, or perceived funnier than them?
No way.
No way.
I'm
No
asking.
way.
Wait for it. And is there some form of jealousy if someone, let's say someone is coming here and he's 5
No.
years and this one is 2 years, and
No.
is that competitive thing out there?
No.
Remember, I'm asking. I've never been on the
Yeah.
other side of the curtain.
Yeah.
The good race to the good people always move to the top. So if somebody is funnier, then there's many people in the comedy industry that's doing it for 7-8 years, and other people that's doing it for 2 years that's way more successful than people doing it for 8 years. And if there is that, I don't notice that jealousy. If they do have it, they keep it within. And I've noticed that they still give gigs.
Yeah.
There's nobody that will deny you of a gig.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing comedy for 2 months and they're doing it for 10 years, and if you're good, they put you on, bruh.
Yeah.
They don't care about it's not about
No
being
politics.
better than them.
Yeah.
They put you on. I noticed that they put on generally the best people. That is like there might be cliques and stuff like that, but there's no ways that they won't let you play if you're good.
If you
Okay.
by good you mean funny. If you're funny,
Funny,
you're gonna
Funny
be
is funny.
Yeah.
Funny
you're
is
gonna be
funny.
booked.
There's nobody that has been funny and not booked.
Yeah.
I doubt that.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. And also like if you don't get booked here, go there. If you don't get booked there, go there. There's many people in the industry that don't sit. They don't chill with each other.
Yeah.
And there's always another gig for you to go to.
There are places like, and I want to mention them so people are aware of them. You know, the places like Armchair. There are places like Beer House. I'm going to mention their locations as well. Armchair in Obbs, Beer House in Long Street, Rascals in Kenilworth, and Trenchtown also in Obbs, where they have comedy weekly. You know what I mean? And they don't have the same lineups every week. If you've been on already for the month, then you only need to come back next month. You know what I mean? So that the rotation is fresh every month. So chances are of getting up on stage is very likely if you hang out at the spot, if you talk to the right people and that type of thing.
Okay.
You will always get booked, but I promise you that. Like I was saying also earlier, like just because the people on that side didn't book me, I still met a bra on this side, George. And he was booking me non-stop. But I was like, yo, it's just me and you, bra, and we were going it.
Shout out George Blacksmith.
Shout out to George. My bro, me and him will meet each other and I'll tell him, hey bro, I remember that time that Indian restaurant. We'll laugh about it.
I'm
like,
still tripping on that. It's just like people sitting on a throne, like what?
a throne, bro. In Sea Point Main Road, nah? Like more towards the beginning of, as you were driving towards Simonstown, more towards the beginning of Sea Point Main Road, you will notice like there's like a Indian sort of restaurant, not the one right at the end by the other shops, more closer towards Clove Valley. There's an Indian restaurant there. Just look there. Go inside there one day. You will see it, thrones there.
They're still sitting there.
So I don't think they're sitting on the thrones, but the thrones is there for sure. Yeah, that is a weird spot. But I mean, yeah, that is if you funny, like so there was a time where I was doing quite a bit of gigs, and George wasn't doing that, but wasn't doing that much. So all he used to do now was like he hosts the show, and then I come on. So I was like being almost like a fake headliner. So he did like 15 minutes, whatever, and then I do so 15, 20 minutes. And I only had 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like 5 minutes of good stuff. The other 15 was just whatever. Crowd work, talking guy. But I had a solid 5 minutes. So I was doing that solid 5 minutes and mixing it in with the other stuff. But I mean, it worked out for us. We had fun for many years on the side. So yeah, you know, there's no worries about, I'm not gonna get booked. If you're hungry and you go to the shows and you lamb there and you say, yo, can I get a Thomas? Maybe the first time you won't, but they will give you a spot eventually.
Yeah.
It's not like cancel vibes. You know what, no?
Cancel culture is fake, man.
One, but I did cancel himself, though.
Cancel himself.
Yeah.
Are you brave enough to mention names?
Rory, I don't give a fuck.
Mr. Rory Abrams. He's a friend of mine, by the way.
Yeah, I know he's a friend of yours. I'm just saying, like, he's like the only person that I can think of that sort of cancelled himself.
Okay, but what do you mean by cancelled himself?
He alienated himself and he said things about people in the industry, and then he spoke about people in the industry to other people, and then they took screenshots or whatever. You know what I mean?
Aina.
So that whole weirdness, that sort of canceling yourself.
Okay. But he's not doing comedy anymore. So.
Yeah, but he sort of cancelled himself before. Let's be honest, man.
Yeah, okay.
If I personally, I don't have no problem with the dude. I don't like, but if you're gonna sort of scratch where it don't itch, then you're gonna get yourself into hot water. Like not hot water, but you're gonna get yourself into a position where people don't like you. And you know what? If he's brave enough to stand his man and back his shit up, then all good to him. Then I can't be like. If he's I stand by this.
If you're watching this, Rory Abrams, are you man enough to stand up?
I think he is.
I think he's very misunderstood. I feel like yes, he's outspoken and that type of thing, but I'm not defending him in any way just because he's a friend of mine. No, like I said, cancel culture is fake. Yeah. But I feel like he's very misunderstood. Like he will say something about you and like. It might come across as bitchy or arrogant or whatever, but he's like, bro, you can be better. You know what I mean? But like that's enough airtime for him.
But so okay, so
you won't be cancelled.
Let's not talk about the person. Let's talk about the problem, because that's often what people do. They talk about people instead of the general. Yeah. So
I feel like Foof's gonna say something about it.
Yeah, come on, Foof, say something about tell us a bad story. So if we identify, it's like just like maybe how he's approaching and how you speak to people, like and stuff like that. It's like maybe you should have a softer approach with softer people.
Perhaps
like,
you guys misinterpreted my post.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah. Good point there.
Example.
I also feel that like. So I work for a new company, and the team that I work for is all women. I'm the only man in a
Yeah.
team of like 10, 12 women. And it's a bit weird because you can't just vice.
Yeah.
You can't like, sure, it's a crack design, but
Yeah.
like, yo, bruh, do you know how that look like? Nah, you can't do that. You have to be softer. You have to be softer. There's a way in which you have to say things, especially in the creative sense, because I don't think I don't know, man. Women
Yeah.
are a lot more sensitive than men sometimes.
And look at us, we also a group of men here, so we're gonna say very little about that subject.
About what subject? Bitching.
About having to be softer with women.
Having to be softer with women. Why?
Because I don't know.
Because why?
Because cancel Baker.
Cancel Baker.
No, but
No,
it's
that's-
true.
that's-
It's true.
that's
You need
the-
to watch your words. You need to watch
No, but
not
that-
just watch your words, your tone and
Tone.
and-
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Tone. Sometimes your tone might come across aggressive.
aggressive. Yeah,
But that is not your intention.
yeah,
That's not my intention to be aggressive towards a woman.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
We are like if you were to talk to me now.
Yeah, I
like
can't
if you
talk like this.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you talk like it to a woman,
No,
they might be like, holy shit.
why are you mad?
But it's also me as a person. It's me looking at myself and how I speak to people. Like I think that sometimes my approach and how I speak to, and this goes for women in general. Like sometimes, whoa, that's a bitchy. Like just because you speak to a guy like that, you can't speak to a woman or so like
Yeah.
that.
Did you have
And-
sisters growing up?
Yes, I did have sisters growing up, but
What are they
Yeah.
like?
she's 7 years younger than me, but 10 years older than me.
She manly.
Nah, she's not manly, but it's
Will she face you?
So
Yeah,
you can see in his eyes, he's like thinking, wait, he's maybe listening.
Very
but the other part of it is like, again, let's not look at that person, her. Let's look at me. I always want to point it back to me.
Yeah.
I was an insecure kid. I was insecure my whole life growing up. So if you have a lot of insecurities about yourself, a lot of the time it manifests its way
Yeah.
outwardly towards people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you don't feel good within you, you like projecting whatever and stuff like that. As I grew older, I worked on things, I looked at things, I looked at my relationships, and especially with my relationships with women, I'm like, yo, I need to work on it. I need to work on it. And
That's good.
lucky for me, I had
Good stuff.
a wife that was very supportive, because at the beginning of our relationship, she could have told me like, nah, fuck,
Yeah.
I'm done with this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, she stuck by. She stuck by, and we worked on things together. And now I'm able to get to a better place. And you know what? There's a lot of men out there that get like, and I know why I'm going there, because I'm going there.
Are
the same with
we
you.
all married, by the way?
Yes.
You're not married. Oh yes, you divorced.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why I'm going this way, like, and I'm not apologizing for rapists or anything like that, but like, you go quite hard on Cristiano Ronaldo, right? I'm not looking at that case in point, right? Because that might have been a rape. Let's look at something else, like if a guy does something wrong towards a woman, right? Should he be cancelled forever? Right? Do you take his way? Do you cancel him? Take away all his money from him, or try to re-educate that man? What is your approach? Right? Are you gonna, because generally across cancel culture, as men doing, not generally, as a lot of the time as men having disgusting behavior towards women.
Yeah.
And on that scale, it's from Louis C.K. to Bill Cosby, right? Louis C.K. masturbated in front of a woman
With consent.
with consent, and Bill Cosby raped 68 women without consent. These are looked at on the same scale as cancel you
I
cancel
get what you're
culture.
saying.
You know what I
get
mean?
what you're saying, yeah.
So now, how do we look at things in general? And I'm
Louis
going to
CK
go,
wasn't-
and I'm going to again go back to myself. He was sort of
He
cancelled.
wasn't cancelled.
He wasn't cancelled, but like, okay, maybe that's a bad point. What I'm talking about is cancel culture and the variations in scale,
Yeah.
or cancel culture, because he wasn't cancelled, but it almost went there.
Yeah.
It was that cancel culture vibe was around that, right? So I'm talking about the scale that you get at here. You get a man raping 68 women, and you get a man masturbating in front of a woman. Okay, that's the scale that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Do you treat everybody with the same, paint everybody with the same brush, or is there a time for re-education
So
to re-educate boys?
So I think for me it's about association, and so I have a daughter, I have a son. So my daughter's 19, and my son is 14. Will I associate myself with someone who has purposefully hurt a woman, a female? No. Like that. Whether or not this is not even a comedy thing. It is, would I? You tell me, Fabian, listen, there's a gig in the future, but this guy's going to be there. And you must remember, it must be a proved thing. It mustn't be hearsay and stuff. This guy did this to a woman. Then I'm going to go, nah, I'm easy, guys. I'll skip this one out. So that for me is what it's about. I think it's for you and not for the next person. And the next person might go, look him, and that guy, he tried, he's forgiven, and all these things. I won't. The next guy will. So, but I won't go, you associating yourself with that. I just, because the same thing that you said, I'm living by, is where it's about me, right? So if you go, I accept that guy back on stage. Let's call it a stage for us, right? And I'm going, nah, no thank you. I won't go, let's boycott them. No, all I do is I just move away and go get a gig somewhere else. That is when we're talking about comedy now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just getting back to the music game, as you can see, it was done by FX. So I think he was cancelled. He was cancelled in the sense of cancelled.
Okay, but
in the sense that he lost contracts.
Yeah. So in the case in point, I just wanted to show the scale of disgustingness that can go down. And my question is quite simple. It's like, do we treat everybody the same, or is there time for re-education? I think myself, so. I did things to re-educate myself. Or it was lucky for me, there wasn't cell phones when I was a lighty.
Yeah.
Amen.
I feel the same.
You know what I mean? Because then I would be cancelled.
Would you be cancelled for life?
For life, maybe I would never be able to talk on a podcast like this. They'd be like, this, but I did.
Tell us what you know.
Nah, I'm gonna. It's gonna come out soon enough. Yeah, but
who was
yeah,
she? Did you love her?
Yeah, man.
I'm joking. I'm fishing.
Andrew Tate is a bad example here.
Yo, bruh.
It's a bad example because he did traffic women and all that shit.
Are you sure?
Allegedly. Is it? Could it be that? Okay, so that's now. Are they trying to cancel him because he's? Are they trying to cancel him because he's got a message to men that's strong, and the libs?
Just sold that Madison.
He's talking about Louis C.K. So are they trying to cancel him and they're making up all the stuff and because he's sort of having freedom of speech? Because he also did something on Big Brother where it was also consent, no? He had rough sex with a woman. Yeah, he had rough sex with a woman.
You mentioned people loving trauma. Was it trauma?
Trauma porn.
Trauma porn. Yeah. Same thing. People love being spanked. People love being chained up. People love being, whipped and all.
What's your take on Andrew Tate? Come on.
You're really trying to get me cancelled.
No.
You started early in the podcast with Sodium Day, and I was just like.
No, but I think that we need to understand.
No, I think masculinity has been suppressed so much so that people like Andrew Tate seem so chauvinistic and anti-feminist. I feel like he's speaking for the unspoken, and the world just doesn't like it, the way the world is going at the moment just doesn't, we can't gel with that type of person, you know what I mean? This is my personal take on it. Yeah. I've seen every video of Andrew Tate, and there are some things that are like,
cringy.
But people are generally like that. You can't agree with everything someone says. But a lot of things get taken out of context. Like if you were to ask someone, let's just say a woman, if you were to ask a woman, why you don't like Andrew Tate, they will say that he's he has beaten a woman, and then like you ask, where have you seen that he's beaten a woman, and then they will refer to someone else who had told them that he beat a woman. There's never evidence that he actually did. He's now in jail in somewhere for alleged trafficking, but there's no evidence. There's nothing to prove it except for a voice note from someone, which, as we know, we can get away with AI these days.
So you brought up quite an interesting word there. Masculinity. It's being suppressed. Like,
I was waiting for that.
You see there?
He got you. Nah, I got you.
I mean,
hook, line, and
sinker.
sinker.
I because I believe in that as well. I believe that as well. Like it's it is being suppressed. Like, and like I work in an all-woman team. Like me alone. Like so. Like my masculinity is not under attack and it's not fragile and all those stuff. But I can see how slowly it can get eroded, you know, like a giant mountain.
Yeah.
You know, masculinity.
They started with the metrosexual, and then Michael Cera became very attractive to women. Apparently, all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Michael Cera is not masculine at all. Michael Cera, do you not know who that is?
Yeah, I do know, but I don't believe that he's okay. Whom I to say what? These are people are attracted to different things, but
that's true though. That is true.
But okay, let's go back to the fact that
And they put estrogen in the water also. I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Estrogen in the water.
That's,
but why is that dangerous? Like,
everybody's worried about fluoride.
why do we feel that is dangerous? In my aspect, why do we feel that the attack on masculinity is dangerous?
I have a theory. So say they put in estrogen in the water, right? Just hypothetically speaking. They're making us all say what is estrogen?
It's not as estrogen as in the water. There's more to that. There's plastics in the water, and the plastics and then it creates estrogen. So they're not injecting it in the water, bro.
No, that's a conspiracy theory, right?
It's in the
But it is getting into the water.
But
You're right.
Here's the thing.
Plastics.
It's proven that men's testosterone is dropping.
100%.
Between since
1950,
right?
because of petrochemicals and plastics in the water.
Here's the kicker. So if testosterone makes you a man, makes you want to lead because that's the male energy, right? Right. So if your estrogen levels go higher than your testosterone level, you become more. Not that it's a bad thing, more female and more softer. So you can't lead your people anymore. So it's easy for you to be overthrown, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of people. It's again.
Watch out now.
It's again.
Watch out now. You might be cancelled.
That's fine. A conspiracy theory, but have you ever wondered why we're taking so much cock in the world? Like the lizard goes up, but everybody just it's fine. No, it's fine. Nobody's like, what the fuck? It's riot. You know what I'm saying? It's because of the estrogen in the water, motherfuckers.
But don't explain it like that, man. I know you coming from a conspiracy theories point of view, but you are 100% right. Explain it from a scientific point of view. What is happening since 1950, right? Petrochemicals are getting into our water supply. So what do you mean by this? Like petrol, all those stuff is getting into the water. What else is getting into the water? Plastics are breaking down in the water. It's getting into tiny microbials. Is getting into the water. What this is doing is it's making men's taint smaller. It's making men's scrotums smaller. It's making men's penises smaller. So all this is making us less able to be more. So more people have. There's more. More men are producing, more men are producing less semen. What you call that? They're becoming more infertile and stuff like that. More men are having to go to these doctors to get artificial insemination. All these are happening, and it's not because of
not the men. Men aren't getting inseminated.
But it's not because it's not because of
there are some
somebody
men getting
injecting
inseminated.
chemicals into the water. As a conspiracy point theorist, it's not because of that reason. It's because we're polluting. That's how it's getting to. No. And then when our taint's small, all these, it's a knock-on effect and stuff like that. And yeah, somebody like not Eugene, somebody like you can go.
So for me, it is about how you were led, right, and how you then lead. So if I go up where my father come from, my late father, so he was led by his father, who was like militant, like full-on militant. Right? He passed when my dad was 17. Then my dad never had any father figure above him to guide him. Right? So, and then he obviously had to just go ahead. All of you have kids?
Yeah.
Right? So your son, if you have a son, the type of man that he is going to be, it depends on how he's led. So if you go, so it doesn't matter about the water, the estrogen, it doesn't matter. If you lead your son and raise him properly.
How are you going to lead him?
I disagree with you.
You are your own person. You are your own.
No, that's how Man United gives support.
You're so saying the shit is in the water. You're so saying you're saying a myriad of things. Now, I'm saying
It's in that person. It's not in even you as a father. You can lead him a certain way, but at the end of the day, it's where he wants to go.
Right? So because we're talking about men's masculinity that's decreased over the last 70 years, especially.
Yeah, and the proven fact, the education of that where they eroding that masculinity is in colleges. So yes, you saying you're leading him down the right path, but once they go into colleges, they have a different lecturers and the student councils have a different point of view.
Yeah.
They are more libertarian.
But at the same time, yes, you are your child's parent, right? But your child is going to school for like 8 hours of the day, you know?
Exactly.
Who's teaching your child then? Who's raising your child then? You know what I mean? Not just school, there's aftercare, all those things. What does it say?
The environment, there we go, distributes plastics, foods, and personal care. These products are certainly distributed proper hormone function. There we go. See?
I just had to bring in the conspiracy theory part because it sells.
You see, but it's the environment.
Come on.
No, man, it's the environment. It's happening. It's real and stuff like that. And
I'm not
we
drinking water anymore.
We can't be overly aggressive
Are
because
black people not drinking this water?
We can't be overly aggressive because I think our parents, the way our parents raised us, was maybe a bit fucked up. I used to get I didn't know the leather belt. I'm sure you did too. You know what I mean? So that bit of violence I didn't need at 6 years old, man.
So
5 years old.
So they beat the estrogen out of you.
No.
They fucking beat me. They beat the trauma into me. Yeah. So now violence is like, it's in my DNA.
But isn't that supposed to be masculine? Being strong, being this, being that.
Being violent is not being masculine.
Being violent is not
No.
Well, being able to be violent and putting your sword in the pocket.
No.
Proper man.
Remember, we're talking about how masculinity means the masculine whatever has decreased over the last few years, no? So isn't it when a man don't stand up for himself? So I teach my son to stand up for himself, where other guys are, right? One son. So for him, it was I would always tell him, and he's listening now, I would always say that, listen, if the boy is your size or bigger and he's the same age, not my problem. You must go out there and you must go sort it out. And if you come home and you get a blue eye, whatever, we deal with it. If the boy is much bigger than you and is in a different grade, then I step in. Not to sort out the boy, but to sort out the situation from
that's
a
in a
parent
bullying
point of view.
situation you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, wait. So now, when it comes to where you saying now that you got beat and stuff, that was, if you can pak vat soos 'n man, because that was about masculinity, isn't it so? Big boys don't cry.
Nah, I disagree with you. My dad giving me a hiding was
we're
not,
talking about masculinity.
That is not making me more masculine, bro.
No, how do you know?
No, I 100% disagree with you.
You know, I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just
what is the
way
Google
bigger than me.
definition for masculine?
No. I can 100% agree with you. It's not getting beat.
No, I didn't know.
It's not getting beat. I'm not saying getting beat. I'm just saying that.
You should be able to fight because come time to war.
For yourself.
Come time to wartime. It's men who goes to war. You know what I mean. So you should be able to hold the sword and fight.
So rather to be a warrior in a garden than a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. That is the definition of that. Rather to be already, but also it's proven throughout history. the greatest of leaders, right?
What are
as
those
the,
handsome, muscled, and driven?
the greatest of leaders, it's proven throughout history, the greatest of leaders had the ability to enforce it, but didn't do that. So it's the ability to be violent, but keeping your sword sheathed.
Not necessarily.
That is the essential.
Knowing when to keep it sheathed.
Yeah, and if you have the ability to do it, you will know when not to do it. Trust me, you'll be able to turn it on like a switch.
So I like playing devil's advocate, right? So you're saying the greatest of leaders. So
yes,
they were
not like Ramaphosa.
Not tyrants, no. That's a tyrant. That's not a good leader. A tyrant is not a good leader.
It depends on
a dictator
what side.
And
it depends on what side you're on. It's relative, don't you think?
It is relative.
Not relative if you're talking about the dictatorship in Germany having to then pay back. You know what I mean?
But I mean, are you saying Hitler wasn't masculine?
No, I said the greatest of leaders.
He was a leader, but he was a leader of the tyrants.
But he's not a great leader, dude.
No, to you.
It's quite simple.
He was very successful in his acts.
But he killed himself.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. He did kill himself.
He did kill himself.
I have another conspiracy theory that he's in Argentina.
He's still alive.
Not alive. He's been kept alive by machines.
But you get tyrants and you get these leaders that you get tyrants. Even if you look at that like communism and all those stuff, all of that people they thought they were masculine, they thought they were quiet and all those type of things, thought they were ruling with iron fist. But look at the state of those countries, Cuba, Russia, all of them is in their chops.
Yeah.
Look at other places where there was really great leaders, took them to great places. Those places are still flourishing.
I still say it's relative. I still say it's relative.
Remember, history is history. So you want to tell me that all the presidents in America that caused the wars against all the other people, that they are real men?
I never said they were real men.
No, but the thing is,
I think you're getting misconstrued here. I'm not saying masculinity and being a good leader is the same thing. What I'm saying is that when you were a great leader, this is what boxes was ticked. You did this, and this.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then that it doesn't equate to masculinity. It doesn't have to be. It's just that you followed a certain what the Japanese call Bushido. You know what I mean? A certain code.
Got us.
I forgot my Japanese.
A certain code. In Africa, we call Ubuntu. You know what I mean? There's certain thing about sharing, causing everybody to create, to come together to create a greater society. Those are the great leaders. Those are the needle movers in our societies. Yes, maybe Hitler did move the needle when it came to automotive, VW engine, and he got a paar lekker suits from Hugo Boss. Maybe that was quiet, but in the end of the day, he killed himself. So that's not the how and a God.
Hectic. How did we get here?
I don't know.
It's a rabbit hole. We went down the rabbit hole.
Comedy to masculinity.
No, I think that the masculinity topic is something that we because a lot of times men come on the podcast, so that's
men come on the podcast.
That's a masculinity, right? Challenged.
So I think that's the topics that we can really give insight and input into. And look here, this what I see today is my thoughts. They can change tomorrow. Like today I can like Andrew Tate, tomorrow I can think he's an asshole or something like that. Yeah. Or even anything I said here can change tomorrow. I think that when you share your ideas, maybe you share it over that your dad, maybe a dad eating, you can do that. That is sharing an idea, and maybe some kernel to that, but this is what this podcast is about, man. Sharing ideas, thoughts, and you know what? Even if it's an awkward conversation, we must make it a bit funny, man. Because you know what I mean? That's what we try to do on stages or something like that. Have that awkward conversations, but make it a bit funny.
But I say with research and education, your mind must change.
Yeah.
That's it. So stand up. I hope I'm funny.
Yeah,
and if I'm not, I hope that you tell me that I'm not funny.
You'll find out from
I think we'll be recording everyone's set, so.
Is it?
Yeah.
How's it going with that recording and putting the stuff online? Didn't you record the last one or something like that?
Yeah, we did. We're back in the comedy. We
I didn't even know.
we recorded bits and interactions with people, and we did promo vids.
Okay. Promo was. See, marketing is on point, young. Always marketing on point, yeah. Yeah, so if you guys are watching, please check Yaseen's show out. He's going to be having loads of shows coming up. One a month, I think he said.
Well, at 3 different locations.
At 3 different locations. So yeah, check out any one of those locations if you have not seen a good comedy show in a while. And yeah, to the Muslim audience especially, his shows are 100% halal. That's quite unique because
The jokes, not necessarily. But
I like that disclaimer. But yeah, I think that people can. It's cool for people to go to a place where they don't have to go to a bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't smoke a loud bar. Sometimes me and my mochi just smoke chill, nice.
Yeah.
You know, just the two of us, not like loud music playing in the background or the bra falling over chairs.
Swearing at the comic on stage type of thing. You know what I mean?
That's not funny, man. They meet so Kaira. So Zone better step his punchlines up so she sit in the by chair. Whatever, Liam. So yeah, with the content cowboys with Liam so.
Liam Benz is also a comic.
He used to be a comic. I don't know if he's still a comic.
CJ Benson.
CJ Benson and Bevan Boyson, yeah.
Bevan Boyson. But we don't talk about him.
Anyway, man, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. If you have tuned in today, check out Yaseen's page. He used to have the funnies. Now he's just talking controversial stuff nowadays. I don't know what's up with
Masculinity.
it. Come with it. What happened to the one-liners?
Nah, they still there.
You don't talk about masculinity. He hasn't gone there yet.
Not yet.
I
He
haven't.
doesn't want to be cancelled.
Yeah.
But this is really the platform for that discussion, in my opinion.
We get, like you said, long-winded conversations about it.
Long-winded.
Where your message doesn't get lost or misinterpreted. So
Yeah.
this is the platform.
Yeah, man. So everybody, thanks for joining in. Like, share, subscribe. My homie, sorry, your full name?
Fabian Olifant.
Fabian Olifant.
Yeah.
You can check him out at Yaseen show, and he might be the next throw of an hour. And over here, Munir, your surname is Holiday.
That's it.
It's gonna be so right. Yeah, Munir. I don't know if where you're gonna go to, but I hope you have a dope set and enjoy yourself
Lekker.
on your journey.
Yeah,
Cool.
thanks, man. Thanks.
Thank you so much for having us. This is so much fun.
Yeah, man. It's always fun chilling with you. This is the 4th time we do it.
Fourth
Like, and
time.
each time we get a bit more smoother. Anyway, like I said before, like, share, subscribe. Peace. We out.
Yeah.
This is the joeZONE.